What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video, and here we got for you guys today the result of negligence parenting mixed with a city that is soft on crime, episode 399, and this is with convos with Kara and Danielle. I hope that's how you pronounce I hope that's what I'm pronouncing Kara right, or is it Kara? Kara. I've seen this channel for a while. Well, and in a while, I say the most I say is about 4 weeks. About 4 weeks now. Close to a month. So I've seen some of the content that they have posted, like, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, and I've seen some of their new stuff too. So I dabbled in and out and stuff like that. So I wanted to do this reaction because I started this like 2 weeks ago, I want to say. When they posted this, actually, hold on. Okay, yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, and I never finished it. I got like 3 minutes in, and I was like, might as well do a reaction to it. This is quite a long video, so I might not react to the whole thing, but we are gonna get through this video as quickly as possible. But without further ado, let's get into this video, man.
Dozens of teens seen in this social media video from Chi-Town crime chasers raiding the 7-Eleven store off of West Grenshaw just after 9. The store trashed, young people tossing stolen merchandise in the air and running away with their arms full of goods.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
Listen, that was comedy. I ain't gonna...
This seems to be a trend where they're over here looting and taking over. I think they call it they're taking over the takeover. The teen takeover. Yeah. It reminds me of, you guys seen Purge? Like, it just makes me feel like all these random people out there on the street just doing random acts of violence and criminal activity, and then imagine to being the normal person walking by. I mean, I hope you're not walking by that, but imagine being someone who's just. We've seen that when they're in a car and the teens like jump on top of someone's car. It's like, oh, you know how terrified I'd be? I mean, oh my God, I'd be so terrified. But anyways, so there's a few videos of the teens doing this, and I was gonna show you guys where
dozens of people.
Oh, real quick, before we get really into this video, imagine there comes a time to where the purge is like a real thing. And it's just gonna be normal just to go into somebody's house and take something and like just walk out. Like that would be like the normalest thing that you can probably do in a purge, whatever you call it. And that's what it's kind of coming to, just a little bit. I can see like a small little instances, like in Chicago and of course New York, of course. Just small acts of violence. It's just taking place for no reason too. It's just happening. So I could see that happening a lot. Like, it's sad, but I could see that happening. And then one person being the odd person out, just don't just like, it's like, I don't want to do that. But hey, you never know. You just never know.
Arrested and a South Loop store looted after another teen takeover this weekend.
Police say the group stormed stores and were in the streets. CBS 2's Marissa Perlman is live with the video of the chaos. Marissa.
Well, Erica, Jim, there is still trash around the 7-Eleven, a sign of the chaos that happened here just hours earlier. And we spoke with neighboring businesses who tell us this is the second time in just days that teens have targeted this neighborhood. Dozens of teens seen in this social media video from Chi-Town crime chasers raiding the 7-Eleven store off of West Grenshaw just after 9. The store trashed, young people tossing stolen merchandise in the air and running away with their arms full of goods. At one point, a fire extinguisher was set off near the gas tanks outside the store. A Snapchat video posted the aftermath. A customer came to try to get cash from the ATM.
Look what they did inside of this 7-Eleven.
Chicago police supervisors heard encouraging cops to lock people up.
To be clear, all these kids running in the street, mass arrest, lock them up.
All right, for the kids running in the street, mass arrest, lock them up.
And they did. A total of 40 people, ages 12 to 20, were taken into custody.
12 to 20. Oh, wow. 12 to 20 ages. Over 40 of them has been locked up in Chicago. Wow. Wow.
This a departure from previous large group situations. The interim police superintendent said they had no choice.
Our posture has been tolerance, and usually when we say that it's curfew and we ask them to disperse, they do. Yesterday, they, so to speak, crossed the line.
He said we believe they crossed the line. You think they crossed the line?
I mean,
what is happening?
Where are their parents?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where are the
seriously,
parents at?
like a 12-year-old?
12-year-old?
What was a 12-year-old just doing out there?
Yeah, where are the parents? It's okay. This is what, okay, so defund the police, right? This is what they always, liberals are all, oh, defund the police. What, in Chicago? You sure you want to do that? Defund the police?
Right. Maybe they just need reparations.
I mean, I watched a video with a woman that says it was like a man on the street video. Some news anchor or news person stopped this lady on the street, this black woman, and she just like, what do you think about all this looting going on? What do you think about what's going on? And the lady said, well, this is our form of getting, this is our way of getting reparations. This is our form of getting reparations. I'm like,
chaos. So they've had a few cases like this. Now,
in
Chicago.
Yeah,
in Chicago and other areas. They call it, I guess for the last few months, there's been these massive groups of teen black kids who are, and they had, remember the video, I don't know if we did a video on it, where the kids were on top of a car, and they were literally setting cars on fire. Yeah. It was mounds of kids. Mm-hmm. And what's her name? Lightfoot. That was like her last speech before she got the boot. You know what I mean? She was all like, "Don't call these kids, monsters," and they're not. Like, yes, they are.
They're look. We can go ahead and analyze later on why they are the way they are. We can go back and do the psychological dealings with why they became this way. We all get that. That's a huge problem. We should look at that. But what we're looking at present time is that this is criminal activities. I feel like the left and these leftist cities that are having this problem, they don't want to admit that their lax policies,
soft on crime,
has created this ridiculous purge situation here. It's created this, and no one I feel like the left doesn't want to admit that their policies have done this. Mm-hmm. Now that's one part. The bigger part is the parents, because
I would say defunding the police. About the whole thing that happened, and this is mainly what happened from during 2020, right? That's not exactly a good idea either. It's it's just not. In certain areas, you need the police. You need police in certain areas to stop something like that from happening. Now and then that goes back to the saying that not all policemen are bad bad people. They're just not. It's there's some that's very well needed that will always be needed. And okay, defund the police. What is that gonna do? Who are you gonna have stopping this? Now who are you gonna have stopping this? What do you expect? What do you expect for the people to do? What is next as a society if you take away the police? What all the people that are saying to fund the police? Okay, what is your next solution? What is your next plan? What are you gonna do after that? Did you have a plan in motion, or did you just say defund the police because this part was happening? But you forgot about all the other stuff that policemen that stopped from doing this type of deed wrong. You forgot all the other solutions that policemen could solve. What about that? Do you have somebody else that could solve these problems? What are you gonna do? So it's that doesn't mean anything.
Now what we have are parents who don't parent anymore. They're okay with their children being out there 11 o'clock at night. They're okay with them looting and doing this stuff. They're probably helping them do it.
But I think you're being unfair, Danielle, because this has to be due to slavery and Jim Crow.
It has to be. You're right. I didn't think
they
about
could
that.
get reparations.
I didn't think about that.
And slavery never happened.
You're right.
And these kids would not be stealing Funyuns.
100% true.
They wouldn't be blowing up cars, none of that. I think somebody called the new mayor. Yeah, he's worse than Lightfoot.
Yeah. Boys, listen to what the mayor says. What was his name again? Brandon Johnson.
There's history in this city. I mean, to refer to children as baby Al Capones is not appropriate. I'm fully aware of what I inherited. You know, the 90s were especially tough. I remember that. I was in high school. We had almost 1,000 people being murdered every single year. You know, what we know, particularly in this moment, my administration, that constitutional policing is critical. And so I really appreciate, very much so, how many of our law enforcement rank and file members have really stepped up to be more of a system of care and calm versus a system that has unfortunately been deemed to be far more harsh and severe. And those levels of sensitivity as we bring calm and structure to the city, that's a unique approach.
When you say trends, what do you mean? Can you give us an example of a couple of the trends you're seeing?
Oh, you're not aware of some of these large gatherings?
You're talking about the mob actions?
Well, no, that's not appropriate. We're not talking about mob actions. I didn't say that.
What happened?
Okay, hold on a second, okay? Respectfully, these large gatherings, just hold on a second, y'all. I promise you, we have time to talk. It's important that we speak of these dynamics in an appropriate way. This is not to obfuscate what is actually taking place, but we have to be very careful when we use language to describe certain behavior. There's history in this city.
So what else would you call it?
I mean, to refer to children as like baby Al Capones is not appropriate. So let me finish, please, okay? What I'm saying is that when you ask for very specific examples, there have been other attempts to have large gatherings, and we've intercepted them.
Because a large gathering and a mob is two very different things. I don't think you know the difference. A large gathering is just people, like just a huge group of people, right? Not even just a huge group of people, right? One, they're not causing acts of violence. That's one. Two, they're moving in a very like, they're not really, then like I said, they're not causing harm, but they're just in a large group, like doing like just normal things outside, you know, normal, like an event together. It's kind of like an event type thing, if you want to call it like that. And then you have a mob, right? So what the teenagers was just doing. Two very different things. Large gatherings and mobs, two very different things. They're not called large groups. They're not causing acts. They're not causing random acts of violence for no reason. Have you seen what large groups are actually like? They might not be the most peaceful, but they're not doing stuff like what they was just doing. That's one main difference that you can pinpoint easily, just like that. We know what mobs is and we know what large gathering is. So why are you putting that in the same category? Like, that's not. I can see they all went to the store together and paid for it and then came back out in like a whole group, you know? And they was like, if that's really like a group, not what they just did, and they just ransacked the store and like just left and started burning stuff. Like come on now, stop.
Those attempts. Mary Ann, do you have a question?
I just have to follow up. Are those children?
I don't know how old all these individuals were. I don't. I do know that the system of care that we are building to bring structure and calm to the city of Chicago, to make sure that no harm comes to any resident of this city, that we're very much committed to building that better, stronger, safer city.
And you know, I'm going to go further in saying when you have a black mayor like this, who is so soft on crime and doesn't look at these young black men and women out here ruining their lives by the day, and you make excuses for them and not call it what it is. You know what I mean? I'm suspicious of, do you care about black people?
Well,
is this a setup? Are you part of a setup to make sure that black people fail?
Like, why are you so soft on this?
And the reason why I bring it up is because we get accused all the time of being coons and all that, but I actually do care about the black community. I care about young people. Young people knowing the truth and taking a responsibility for their actions, because they're not always going to be, and some of them aren't even littles. They're not they're going to be grown-ups.
Yes.
Sure.
Grown-ups with records.
Right.
And are wasting their life, and somebody should be pulling them aside. A grown-up should be pulling them aside and saying, don't go down like this.
Don't do this.
This isn't good. But nobody is telling them no. They have a lot of yes people around them. Yes, go ahead and damage private property.
And most of them probably doesn't care anyway, so. We seen that happen.
Social aspect of this is that there's this feeling of there are no rules, there are no laws, we're in a lawless type of situation. You know what I mean? Like some of these cities have that kind of like feeling. I mean, Chicago calls herself Chirac. Like there's that social aspect where they're kind of living up to their name. Like there's this need for young people to live up to the name of their community. Yeah, we're gonna be, we're the murder capital. You know, if it's a place like that, we're gonna show you that we are. You know what I mean? Like there's this social aspect of it too that young kids actually think is kind of cool to be, and it's not.
But again, where is Jill Scott?
Where's Oprah?
Where's her comment?
Yeah.
Where's Oprah?
Oprah's in Chicago.
What about Michelle Obama?
She
Chicago people. Michelle Obama.
Yeah, she's from Chicago.
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Where are all these people that we think have good sense? Because they're not like quote unquote ghetto.
Yeah.
They're what we call the black elite, and they just stay silent. No one says this is a disgrace. This makes us look bad. This makes us look like we don't know how to raise kids. This makes us look like animals. And then we get mad at like white people when they are afraid of us. Because our PR looks scary.
Right.
Nobody ever wants to do that. Like nobody ever wants to say this is just not wrong. Just like the guy, there was not just a few days ago, the guy, the YouTuber or whatever, went on in New York. What's his name?
Something. I'll put it up.
Here we
Sure
go.
about him.
Here we go.
He held a he didn't get a non-permitted giveaway. He's a streamer. I think he might be a gamer or something, but he's a streamer. And he has millions, not thousands, not hundreds, millions of followers on all platforms. And he just goes on TikTok and says he's going to be at Union Square in New York City, right? And he's giving for a giveaway of a PS5 or the PlayStation, right? A video game thing, whatever, right? So it didn't take any time. And they start swarming up to Union Square. You know, and they take over.
They start jumping on cars.
I'm trying to put up. They just start going crazy.
Yeah, girls on top of cars and stop signs twerking. It's like, what are we doing?
And hundreds. I mean, I think it came out to be like thousands. There were thousands of kids that showed up, and he got arrested.
No, he was arrested
because he incited this mob. Basically, he incited.
But what I'm saying is, he's black.
See, I don't like the word I wouldn't say he like started this or incited this whole riot. Yes, he's the one that ultimately had like the he was the cause of them even coming over there. But as far as them to like start causing chaos, at some point it's like they're old enough to understand what they're doing at this point. It's like it's not like he didn't have like it's not like he didn't have the cars and anything like that, and like, you know, in trucks and stuff like that. He showed evidence of that. Phantom showed evidence of that. What they did that on their own self. They started stomping on cars out of their own will. That had nothing to do with the giveaway at all. And let's just be it just didn't. So I don't understand why, like, you know, it doesn't make any sense that had nothing to do with the giveaway. They did that out of their own free will. For some reason, we don't know, but it caused the police to do what they did, and like, so that was on them. So, you know,
black
and
young.
What are we thinking?
What are we thinking?
You know what I mean? It's like, what are we thinking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I worry about black kids.
I do,
because I'm afraid that we're becoming unhinged.
Yeah.
Our kids are becoming unhinged, and they don't have any real direction.
Yeah.
They're being told to complain all the time. They're being told that they're oppressed.
Yeah.
And so and no one tells them, not even the mayor.
There's no limits.
No one's telling them this is not good. This is not right. They're just being told that everything is because of slavery.
Yeah.
And everything is because of Jim Crow.
Yeah. You're not getting your reparations, and you just go out and get your reparations.
So you can go and rob people and get yourself killed, and nobody's going to say anything because this is all because of white people.
Yeah. And, you know, and for any black people that will say, "Oh, well, you're not saying anything about white people."
Well, show me the video where there are tons of white kids.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
You don't think anybody would be filming that if there were with the cameras that we have around here? Somebody would have a video like that, but you don't see it.
Yeah, you don't see it. If you find it,
I'm not saying they don't do it at all, but mass groups, a mob,
on a regular. By the way,
on a regular.
On a regular. we're seeing this on a regular. You go out to LA, we've seen this loops of this, but not just on regular mainstream media news. We know they always want to put out a bunch of mess, right? I'm talking about just in general, people walking and seeing random massive crimes happening and nothing's being done about it, and no one's being reprimanded really for any of these activities. My concern right now is with the black youth. That's my major concern.
I'm black. I care
am black.
about black kids.
I care about that. I care about all people. I do, but I'm saying that this is a massive problem. Clearly,
what's his name? LeBron James. His school, the I Promise school. It just came. The verdict's in. All the kids are failed, and by the way, the mentally disabled kids and the black kids were the worst. And so when everybody says, "Oh, we just need to throw money at it," he threw money at it. And most of that is taxpayer, mostly, taxpayer funded. He paid for a lot of it. But the truth is, throwing money at these kids is not going to make them smart, make them make good grades. This is home lives.
Well,
parenting.
I'm about to say, right. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that. And I'm about to say something extremely boring that everyone is going to be annoyed to hear. A lot of people are going to be annoyed to hear. But we're going to go back to it. This is a no father situation.
Yeah.
This is a single, about to say there, this is a single parent situation. Okay, you can't just throw money at a school and say, oh, I did it, now they're all going to be like super smart. There's a home problem at home. These children on this street have a problem in their home.
LeBron James School is for underprivileged kids.
Yeah, so guess who's going to be out there? These are the kids.
And the black kids at his school did the worst. For 3 years, that whole time the school has been open, they have not passed.
Think about that.
3 years. So that goes back to our point, is what we've been saying, that when, like Larry Elder said, if you don't have someone at home that is making sure these kids go to bed, do their homework, get food in the morning, and get them off to school and check their homework, then it doesn't matter how much money you put in it.
No. You're fooling yourself, thinking that it's what it is.
Throwing taxpayer money at a situation, which they always do. We've been doing that with public schools for so long, and nobody's passing. Yeah. They're horrible. You know what I mean? That's why homeschool is on the rise.
Now, I will say all this also is that there was a time where, obviously, being a single parent has always been on the rise. But there was a point in time where, like when I was younger, where kids were just simply, for lack of a better word, afraid of their parents. So they didn't pull this crap. We were raised by a single mother. We told you this. We were raised by a single parent, and we were literally like terrified of our mother ever doing anything illegal. Like that's why we never did doing anything illegal, because we felt the fear that we would get in trouble for that, and you just don't want that smoke.
Well, I was watching.
We didn't want the smoke.
I was watching Chad O. Jackson. He did Uncle Tom. He has a YouTube show. You should watch his podcast that he has on his show. But he was saying and assured that we need a healthy relationship with the word shame.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And what's happened over the years is that we don't have a healthy relationship with the word shame. And so that means that people just have license to just do anything.
Yeah.
We don't care if our kids are acting slutty. We don't care if our kids are up to no good. We don't care if they make good grades. We don't care anything that they do. Clearly,
because back in the day, like you represented yourself, and your family, and your community. So if you were the oddball out there acting like a fool out there in the streets, the community would not accept it at all. You get shamed essentially. Karen and I do a little.
It's crazy that times have changed that fast to where it was like 10 years ago. It's like it was like nothing like this. Well, maybe it was just a start, like the rise of it, but the whole phenomenon. Oh my God, I can't talk. The whole just the whole female movement. I'm gonna say that the whole female movement and how it's being pushed as much as it's being pushed, the downcreasing of masculinity has dropped to its lowest that it ever had. Just a certain rise of it's just like things that you wouldn't expect to be praised is now praised now, and the things that people are willing to accept is now acceptable, and the things that people were accepted 10 years ago is now being pushed down with masculinity, with manhood. Everything is going down the drain. We're in tough times. We're in tough times too. So we're at a lowest point as a society as we ever been. So it's just, yeah, it's just wild. That's all I'm saying.
We do a little shaming on our show every once in a while. We need to do a couple.
This was a shame.
This is a shame. We do a shaming on our show every once in a while where we just, say that they should be shamed.
And I can bet you a lot of these kids don't have fathers at home. Yeah. I can bet you. And someone's going, oh, you don't know that? I do know that.
Yeah.
Because if you had a real father, you would not want to come home.
Yeah.
You would not do this.
A real father?
To the man home. Remember Marlon Wayans said that I was more afraid of my father.
Yes.
Than I was I was more afraid of my father than I was of my friends and being embarrassed because I knew I had somebody to answer to when I got home. Well, when you don't have a father in the home, there is nothing to be afraid of. Your mother's not that scary.
Right.
Yeah.
When I see kids acting like this in the streets, I just see two things. I see no fathers and no law.
There's no taking away the phones.
None of that.
Nothing is changing in these kids' life because they feel comfortable doing this. You know what I mean? When we were watching a PragerU interview with Candace Owens did an interview with Mark Lamont Hill, and she went on and on, trying to tell him that, hey, we need to really, as Black people, we really need to help these kids. We need to do this, and he just kept making excuse after excuse. And she said, "What did we ever do anything wrong?
We never want to be able to do anything wrong."
And he said, "Yeah, well, what? we do stuff wrong. Why can't we just talk about it?"
Black people, we don't want to do it. We don't want to say we're doing stuff wrong. We don't want to say it.
Don't want to admit to it.
And I'm sorry, but when I'm seeing, that's why we keep calling this out. And people are like, oh, we keep calling out the blacks. But we're calling out a mess is what we're calling out. Okay?
Yes,
you can call it whatever you want to, but
yes,
this is wrong. And if people are going to sit there and coddle these children and say, oh, that's just kids being kids, they'll grow out of it. Like they were heavily influenced, obviously, by their neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Okay. It's still wrong. You're still supposed to call that. You're still supposed to call that out. When we have to be able to admit this, that there's a massive problem within the community. You guys are over here talking about, like American flags, and we got this crap going. Your biggest problem is Jason Aldean, and we got this going on.
And by the way, we don't have freedom?
Really? That looks pretty free.
Somebody said in our comment, oh, we don't have the freedom to steal. Yeah, we do.
They look like they were stealing pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
With no consequences.
Burning cars. This went on.
Barely anyone got arrested. How can they arrest all these hundreds of kids?
They can.
I think they said like 65 arrests, which they all got kicked.
And they're kids, so they're not going to
get kicked out.
Yeah, right.
So it's not, those arrests are going to get completely just expunged because they're kids. They know that. That's another thing. They know the laws.
They know that. Again, I'm not saying that white kids don't do this. I'm sure somewhere there's a white kid trying to hold up a liquor store or something that's doing something wrong, you know what I mean? But not mounds of white kids like this.
But it's not trendy.
It's not. By the way, I'm not saying that this is not going to happen to white kids. This is coming.
To
the rest of this is coming to every other young person. We are always the guinea pig for this whole thing.
For it every time. We always go.
And I'm willing to be called a coon and all that, just so that other people at least will talk about it.
Yeah. We don't care about the name.
I don't care about the name. If I'm a grown woman, I can take a name, but I can't stand watching young people throw away their lives, over stupid stuff. Now it's just like gloves off. Nobody cares. We got mothers and daughters. Erykah Badu and her daughter. She's in a video with her daughter. I think she's like 18, and they're like twerking their butts in a camera. Like you are her mom. What are you doing?
You see where we're going here, though? Like this is what it is.
Where's the black love?
Yeah, what happened to that? Where's the black excellence?
The black excellence. Where all these words we have to throw out, kings and queens. Really?
Well, I didn't see any kings and queens.
I didn't see none of this.
In this
you know what I mean? And I wish more people would call it out that happen to be black.
Yeah. But when you do, coon.
Yeah.
When you do, sell out. This is what happens. Chucking and jiving for the white man. Caping for him.
All of this is just a plan. It's just a rules.
See how far you make it down the road. Okay.
Around here we take care of our own.
It just let us know what you guys think. I can't. This is chaos. This is happening all the time. We've seen it. We've seen the smash and grabs. Y'all seen it. Y'all know. Don't act like y'all know. You know what we talking about. It's a kind of.
Hey, it's the home of the slave.
What's the home of the slave?
This guy is the home of the slave. You can't make it here if you're black.
All right, you guys, let us know what you think. Leave some comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Listen. This is all a plan. They've been planning this from the get-go. They knew this was gonna happen sooner or later. They had the vision a long time ago. Like this was already set in motion, you know. So this is, like I said, it's all a plan. This is what they wanted. You see what's happening now. You try to call it out, this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna try to push you down and act like you did, like, you know, like they're gonna try to cancel you and throw you off the face of the internet, and ridicule you for all of time. But yeah, it's really crazy to see how like kind of like how times just like slowly like shifted. Yeah, and like now we have teen takeovers now, like that's a thing now. So never thought that would happen at all. At least down the road, I never thought that would actually happen. And then they doing it consistently. It's not even just a one-time thing. It's consistently now. It's like every other day you hear like something new, you know. In Chicago, I'm not really surprised that it happened in Chicago, but like in other places, oh yeah. Yeah, if it's happening everywhere else too, then yeah, it's obviously gonna be a worldwide problem. And it's gonna take a few people to do it, but we could turn things around. But it has to be the youth. It has to be the youth to do it. Since we're the new ones coming up into this life, it's up to us to push it to put it back in motion. You know, it has to be us. It has to be us. But this was a great video from Kintarrr and Danielle. Hey, if they do see this, I appreciate what they're doing, because they had some really great points. I gotta admit, they had some really great points. The whole Kais and that thing is really subjective, because they're old enough to know what they're doing, you know? It's not like Kai like it's Kai's fault for every little thing. But he did bring them out there, so I do agree with that. But what I don't agree with is him getting blamed for the car and everything like that, and the damages that they did from their own self-will. You know, that had nothing to do with his giveaway. You know, he didn't say, "Oh, go beat up that car. Oh, go stomp on it." You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, go mess up the construction site. Go start throwing stuff around, and like, you know what I mean? He didn't he didn't incite that. He didn't incite the violence. He just had them come out there, and then all of them just, and then more kids just started showing up. And you know, some people didn't probably even know who Kai was, but you know, they do now. So. Maybe that was his plan, maybe not. Maybe he wanted it to be crazy, but not as crazy as it was now. But yeah, I'm rambling at this point. But this is the end of the video, man. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. Go to my Patreon where all of my block reactions will be, without the copyright and without the blur on the screen. And turn on your post notifications so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. Because of course, you do not want to miss a new video from me, man. All bangers 2023 to 2024, I promise you. And if you want to further support, go down to my Cash App. It's in the link in the description down below. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I appreciate every single one of you guys, you know, for the support I had on this channel. And I hope you guys are here to stay. I really do hope you guys are here to stay. And of course, shout out to Kintarrr and Danielle for this great video. I might react to more of their videos in the future if you guys really want that. Who knows? Who knows? But without further ado, you guys already know this, but I'm out of here, guys.